there's an element of that, but it's not just Thailand. There's many countries who have a vice. You know, in Europe we have the Netherlands, we have Prague in the Czech Republic, where there's a lot of working girls. A lot of guys go there to go to the lap dancing clubs, to go to the go-go bars. It's not something which is just, you know, unique to Thailand. It happens all over the world.
สวัสดีค่ะลูกคุณหนู UK ภาคพิเศษนะคะสำหรับวันนี้นะคะลูกคุณหนู UK นะคะขอต่อกันนะคะที่ประเด็นร้อนแรงเลยนะคะเมื่อประมาณไม่กี่อาทิตย์ที่แล้วนะคะที่ตามสื่อโซเชียลมีเดียต่างๆนะคะได้เปิดประเด็นนะคะว่ามีสื่อต่างชาตินะคะได้เสนอข่าวประเทศไทยในแง่ลบนะคะแล้วก็ให้ข่าวว่าประเทศไทยนั้นเป็นเมืองแห่งโสเภณีนะคะสำหรับนะคะคลิปนี้ลูกคุณหนู UK ก็ขออาสานะคะสัมภาษณ์นะคะชาวต่างชาติฝรั่งที่เคยไปเมืองไทยเที่ยวไทยนะคะก็นะคะเดี๋ยวเรามามองนะคะมาฟังในมุมมองของฝรั่งคนนี้กันนะคะว่าเขามีความรู้สึกแล้วก็เห็นยังไงนะคะเกี่ยวกับประเด็นของประเทศไทยนั้นเป็นเมืองแห่งเซ็กจริงหรือไม่นะคะ
My full name is Christopher, but people call me Chris. Or Tom. I live in London. I'm a London resident. Just finished a working week. It's a Friday night. It gets pretty crazy in London on Friday nights. Everybody goes out and lets off some steam. There's normally alcohol involved. Pretty much all of the bars that you'll see all across the city are going to be full. And people are getting drunk tonight. And this is part of... I'm not saying it's a good thing, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's part of British culture that people like to drink and let off steam. Because, you know, a lot of people, they don't really enjoy working, they don't enjoy their jobs, and they feel repressed Monday to Friday. So they have a short window of opportunity to let off steam and have fun. It starts on a Friday night, it ends on a Sunday lunchtime, and this is it. This is the end of a working week. There's an element of that, but it's not just Thailand. There's many countries who have a vice. You know, in Europe we have the Netherlands, we have Prague in the Czech Republic, where there's a lot of working girls. A lot of guys go there to go to the lap dancing clubs, to go to the go-go bars. It's not something which is just, you know, unique to Thailand. It happens all over the world. I mean, I don't believe that about Thailand. I think that's very sad if Thailand is deemed to be like a sex country or a destination for sex tourists. I think that is sad, but obviously I know there are parts of Thailand where there is a lot of vice, a lot of red light action. You know, Pattaya. What was that place in Bangkok? Some areas of Bangkok, Pattaya. So it does go on. Thai girls in general, I've always liked Thailand as a country. I've always liked Thai people. I am attracted to Thai girls. I think they're beautiful. I really like the complexion. I like how feminine Thai girls are. And yeah, I mean, as I said before, like being a shorter guy, it's difficult for me to like date a girl who's taller. So Thai girls fit the bill because they're often quite petite, and yeah, I do have an attraction. Yeah. I have been in a relationship. Not for too long. Lasted about 4 or 5 weeks. I travelled in Southeast Asia about 6 years ago now. I met a Thai girl in Laos actually, and she lived on Koh Samui. She invited me to come and stay with her when I was in Thailand, which I did so. And yeah, we kind of fell in love a little bit. It didn't end greatly. Mainly my fault. I think I may have misled her in terms of like staying in Thailand when really. I knew that I was going to leave, which is probably unfair on the girl. But yeah, I stayed with her on Koh Samui. We went to Koh Phangan together, full moon party, and it was a good time in my life. Yeah. No, nothing involved in the money. To be honest, if I felt like this girl was just with me because I was able to provide or to pay for things, then that wouldn't have interested me because it wouldn't have been an equal relationship. You know, this girl had a job, she had her own money, she had her own flat. So it wasn't so much of a kind of power struggle, and I wasn't expected to pay for everything, you know, because that would have made that would have made me feel like what, like an ATM, and that wouldn't make me feel loved. It wouldn't make me feel wanted. It would make me feel used. No, of course not. No, of course I wouldn't expect anyone to pay. I mean, obviously, the fact that I've gone travelling in Southeast Asia means that my financial situation is different, and you know, I accept that, and I realise there's a lot of poverty in Asia. There's a lot of poverty in Thailand, and yeah. So if I did fall in love with a girl who didn't have any money, then yeah, sure I would. But there'd be something in my head that would say, is she with me for love, or is she with me for security and money? And to be honest with you, my interest is with people, and it's with interactions with people and with love. I don't want to be used as somebody who can just provide money because I've got a lot more to provide. Well, you can never choose who you fall in love with. But as I said before, you know, there's how much am I going to have in common with somebody who's really poor? I mean, there's got to be. I mean, personally speaking, there's got to be a bit more of an equality there, and that might sound harsh. But you know, on the other hand, you can never tell who you're going to fall in love with, so you never know what's going to happen. So I can't really answer that question because I don't know. No. Yeah, they do. To be honest with you, I don't have to, because I'm young and handsome enough to not. You know, the guys you're talking about are old and fat, and they can't get a girlfriend here because they're old and fat and unattractive. And that's just the truth of it. And this is why these guys go to Asia, because they don't feel loved here. Nobody's going to want to have a relationship with them. Whereas in Thailand, they are going to find girls who are going to look past their ugliness and their fatness for security, and that's fine. You know, I would never judge anybody, but you know, it's not something that I've never had to pay for sex or anything like that. Ooh, it's a difficult question. No, I mean, I wouldn't want that, to be honest with you. I know that people are forced into difficult situations, and for economic reasons they have to make these decisions, and it's not something that I can relate to because I haven't had to go through that kind of poverty. So as I said before, I'd never judge anybody, but there's an imbalance for me if I was to go out with somebody, and it just wouldn't feel right for her to be going out and using her body to satisfy these fat old ugly men. It wouldn't sit well with me. I know that sounds bad. Maybe I'm wrong and I should be less judgmental, but I don't think that I could have a relationship with a working girl. That's not traditional Thai culture, though, is it? That's not traditional Thai. I mean, traditional Thai is to marry and have a family and for them to look after you. The Thai tradition isn't to marry a Farang. It's a fairly modern thing over the past 20-30 years, I guess. But just to go back to the original question, and some advice for the girls out there who do think this might be a way forward for them. A lot of these Farang lie to you, and they might promise you security, and they might promise you a better life in their home countries. They might promise you to buy you things, this, that, and the other. But more often than not, they can't deliver. They exaggerate their wealth. They're probably not as wealthy as they make out they are. And a lot of the times, they're interested in that kind of physical relationship with you, and a lot of these guys, they'll say anything to get you into bed. So I'd be very cautious about believing what these guys tell you. Yeah, I mean, nothing should stand in the way of love. If you love somebody, then what's a dowry? It's nothing if that means that you can be with the person that you love. I don't completely understand the reasons why you have a dowry. I'm European, Anglo-Saxon culture. It's nothing that we have here. So I don't really understand why. But if personally speaking, for argument's sake, if that did happen to me and I fell in love with a girl and a dowry was required, then yeah, sure. Colour doesn't matter to me. Different shades, if you're darker or lighter, it's completely irrelevant. I've never understood why someone can make a distinction based on the colour of someone's skin. It makes no difference to who you are. It makes no difference the capacity in which you can love. It makes no difference inside. We're all the same inside. We all bleed red blood. We've all got the same makeup. So colour absolutely doesn't matter to me. Well, that's the thing. I mean, in Europe, for instance, we have what we call bronzing lotions to make our pale girls look darker, because it's seen like a suntan is desirable, whereas in Asia people shield themselves from the sun and they use lotions to make themselves paler, because that's what's deemed more beautiful. So both cultures have a different definition of beauty, but everybody finds different things beautiful. There isn't a generic beauty, no matter what you see on the billboards. I've travelled in Thailand. I know how much you get bombarded with these unrealistic models. You never see anyone in Thailand look like they do on the billboards. These people are so white, they're porcelain. They don't even look like Thai people. So I don't understand why your nation aspires to be pale. I don't get it. Skinny or fat? Well, it's all about health, isn't it? If you're too skinny, you're unhealthy. If you're too fat, you're unhealthy. Unhealthy isn't attractive. So it's all about, how healthy you are as a person. I think it's a shame when people starve themselves because they think skinny is beautiful. Because believe me, as a guy, when you start seeing collarbones showing through and skinny little legs and arms, and it's not attractive. I don't know where these things come from. And also, like, people who are fat, I just think, well, if you've got any respect for yourself, get healthy, do exercise, eat properly, because it'll make you feel better inside. And when you do feel healthy and you do feel happy inside, it radiates out of you, and it actually shows on your face. If you're happy and healthy, it radiates a beauty. So skinny or fat, I don't care. Healthy, happy. If I'm looking for a girl with a penis or no penis? Well, by definition of a girl, no penis. Um, I'm a straight heterosexual guy. I know there's this kind of phenomenon in Thailand with ladyboys, which is cool. Not judging. That's great. But I don't really understand the question. No penis? Well, it depends how you find out. If she tells you in a conversation, well, that's one thing. If you find out when you take her knickers off, that's a completely different thing. Well, it is difficult for me. I mean, culturally, it's always been a bit of a taboo, to be honest with you. In this day and age, it's becoming more acceptable, and obviously the world is more tolerant to people who are more gender fluid. As I mentioned before, you can never really choose who you fall in love with. There's just an attraction, there's a chemistry, and it happens. And if you couldn't get over the fact that the person you fell in love with was born a different gender, that's a shame. I'd like to think that people can get over that now. You need to take people for who they are, and that's it, and love the person, not the... Don't bow down to these societal pressures, which means you must be in love with somebody who fits this description of the traditional version of beauty, And my advice to Thai girls, and to any girls throughout the globe, is just to be confident in yourselves, and to be happy with your bodies, and to look after each other, and be true to yourself. And love will happen. You've just got to trust, and you've just got to be patient. Don't go chasing something when the love isn't reciprocated. There's got to be in love. There's got to be an equal amount from the man and the woman, or the whoever and the whoever, because that's trust, and that's equality. If you're a Thai girl and you're going after a European man because you think he's got money, I'm sorry, but he's never going to respect you, and he's going to see you as kind of a prostitute. You're much better than that. You've got a lot more to offer the world. You're beautiful girls, so don't sell yourself short. Yeah, believe me, not all Farang are the same. I know sometimes it's difficult to differentiate the good guys from the not so good guys, but believe me when I tell you that we're not all after one thing. There are some genuine people out there who just want to have genuine interactions with other human beings, not on a sexual level, not on an abusive level, just nice people like you are. Yeah, so that's it. My name's been Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.